Hi there and welcome to another episode of G63 Dad, where I talk about your potential business problems and how we can solve them. So as normal, I'm here to pick up my kids from school. It is currently 2:35. I am late today, 5 minutes later than normal, although there were parking spaces today, so it's still okay. And I'm parked right at the edge. You can see like right at the edge. Where I always trying to park away because I don't want to talk to other parents and I don't want them to talk to me either, which I feel is pretty standard really. So, yeah, so we've got 15-20 minutes together, and I'm going to delve into a business problem that plagues so many, and this concept can be applied to like loads and loads of different business positions and sort of you have to think about a lot of different factors depending on the service that you're providing or what it is you're trying to achieve. So what we're going to talk about this afternoon is we're going to talk about traffic and how you sustain traffic. How do you get traffic? How do you get it from where it is to where you want it to go? Because traffic's like a river. You need to direct the flow basically in order to get the outcome you require. So, first of all, then by definition, your problem is that you don't have traffic, or you don't have enough. You need more traffic. So let's dive straight into it and let's think about how we measure that problem. So, first and foremost, it actually sort of comes back to a previous conversation we had, which is where we're talking about you getting clients. Getting clients and generating traffic for your business is actually sort of the same. So it depends on what you're trying to achieve, because getting traffic might also be getting clients depending on the service that you offer. If you're offering a mass market service, then getting traffic is getting clients. If you're offering a specialised service where you're delivering for someone else, getting traffic is the means to the end for that business, obviously. So how do we generate traffic in the digital age, and how do we measure the sort of outcomes? So first of all, you need to think about traffic is marketing effectively, right? We need to think about the activity of marketing. Now, I am not a professional marketer by any means. I am not a qualified marketer by any means either, but I am a successful marketer in my business in that I know how to develop personal brands for my clients. And I always say, like even though I'm doing this now and I'm putting this channel out and I've been talking to you guys for the last bit, like people aren't buying this, right? People aren't buying what I'm selling most of the time. At least that's my belief. But like a lot of the clients I work with, people are buying what they're selling. They're interested in their stuff, right? So the question that I need to then ask myself is how do we basically transform what is on offer, what the personal brand is, into paying customers, right? How do we get them to, that's the wrong button I pressed. I was trying to light up my face. There we go, that's better. It's very dark today. It's super overcast. It's like this rain. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's absolutely smashing down. Anyway, how do we transform that, like the personal brand, into paying customers, right? So we think about, first of all, measuring who it is we're trying to actually reach and the format that they want to be reached in. So first of all, let's measure who our target market is. Very similar actually to how you would measure to get clients. Who's your target market? Who benefits from the service or product you're trying to sell? And then, do they actually want the product or service you're trying to sell? Even if they benefit from it, do they currently want it? And if they don't want it, how can you convince them that they do via marketing? Marketing in itself is not, I don't think, what you think it is. Like, marketing is a series of things. So, for example, putting out an advert, that's advertising, that's not marketing. Creating a personal brand, that's promotion, that's not marketing. Going to the press and talking about your product is getting promotion again, it's not marketing. Like, if you get a celebrity to talk about it, or you basically sort of product place with a celebrity, that's not marketing either. That's like customer relations. You're dealing with a potential customer and they're saying good stuff about your product. Like, putting up posters about it is sales. That's not marketing. Talking to people about the product and like giving them flyers, etc. That's sales. That's not marketing. But doing all of the things I've just described together and having that planned out, that's marketing. Marketing is a plan. So you have to plan out who your customers are, where they are, and how you get them, right? That's the measurement part of this conversation done, right? Good. So we've understood then who our customers are, where they are, and what benefit they derive from our product. So what do we do next? Well, we define. What we're going to do is we're going to define what we are going to do about that. And there might, no, not sorry, define. We're going to analyse. What am I talking about? Sorry, it's so, like, this day is so overcast. It's making me so tired. So we're going to analyse, we're going to analyse what's going on in terms of, okay, so we know who our customers are, we know where they are, and we know what the benefit of our product is to them. So how do we convince them to actually pay money for our product? That's the analysis piece. And the analysis piece comes into play where you have to actually think about your target demographics way of thinking. What are they interested in? How do you get them to action? Different generations, for example, respond to calls to action very differently. Like, for example, the traditional call to action, the old school, click on the link, works well for older customers. It works well for, like, millennials and before. But, like Gen Z, Gen Alpha, etc., younger people don't respond well to calls to action, statistically speaking. Like, we've seen evidence of this. We've done targeted ads, and like younger customers just don't respond well to that type of ads. They respond well to engagement. So, like, they want something they can actually engage with or do something with. Like, they respond well to quizzes, for example, that have rewards at the end, because it's a gamified generation. Whereas, like, millennials aren't a gamified generation, right? So, yeah, we need to think about then, in that sense, how do we get the customer to engage with the material? And that's ultimately the hard analysis that needs to be done. So, first of all, who's your target market? Okay, right, once I've identified the target market, how am I going to engage with them? Am I going to engage with them via a webinar? Am I going to collect email addresses and send them out information that way, and get them on a mailing list? Am I going to engage with them using, like, an ad campaign where I write to them, old school, right? Or am I going to engage with them on a content delivery platform like Instagram, TikTok, etc., etc.? Now, for the vast majority of advertising campaigns that you run, for marketing that you run, you're going to run it on social media. So let's delve right into that analysis. I'm not going to run into the analysis of how you would go about doing a like an email campaign, because whilst email lists are solid and you shouldn't sleep on them, you also should understand that good content is the delivery vehicle for success. And for all of my clients that I've ever worked with, like, good content was the key to their success. If they delivered greatness, it was because they had great content and they were a great personality joined up with that. So what you ultimately then need to do is consider how you make content, the framing of it, the platform of it, where are you going to put it, how do you shoot it, do you use professionals, etc., etc. Excuse me. I've got a cough coming on. I can tell I've got tightness in my chest. That's how you know when you're old, like when you can feel a cough coming and it burdens you before you've actually got it. But I digress. So we know who our market is, and we know what we're going to engage with them on a social platform, right? So what makes great content on those platforms? And all the platforms are different, right? So, for example, as of today, right, and we're going to talk about today, we won't talk about historical stuff, we'll talk about what's relevant today. As of the date that I'm filming this video, I don't know when I'm going to publish this one, but it's like, it's January 24, sorry, January 24. And what's relevant today is, across all the social media platforms, every one of them has a different like sort of strong point. So, for example, TikTok, the strongest point on there is going live. You need 800 followers as of today to go live on there, and have any links in your bio, etc., to get them over to your sales pages or your other materials or whatever. But you need 800 followers on there, and you need to be very engaging. It's a quick fire environment, TikTok live. You basically need to be engaging with them, get them commenting, get them liking, engaging with them constantly in order to build a good audience. And you won't succeed on day one with TikTok either. I've found TikTok is a long game now, where you need to build up over time, but the fastest way to get followers is to go live. So like once you're going live, you can see accelerated growth on there, and that's going to build your followers up, which is going to build up your reach. You can obviously create viral content. You get lucky, you put out something great and it goes viral right away, but it's easier to do the more consistent you are. And delivering top tier content on TikTok about your products, about your services, etc., is going to get you noticed on that platform. We do that for our clients every day, by giving them guidance on that space. Instagram, which is where most of the action happens nowadays, is probably the strongest platform. And Reels are the single greatest weapon in the marketer's arsenal today. Instagram Reels are so powerful right now. Like, the reach on them is incredible. The sort of engagement, the way they work, like the way Trending Sounds is working, the way the algorithm pushes just now, it's just insane. Like, it's so powerful if you can create good quality content. Um, and obviously your standard other stuff on there is great as well. Doing like normal slideshows, carousels, doing just normal posts, making sure your story's active, that sort of stuff. Doing that in a quality way is going to increase your engagement. It's going to get you active on there, which is going to generate you traffic, right? Interestingly though, Instagram Live not so strong. So Instagram Live, as a salesperson, if you're running a shop on there, you're trying to basically get new business. You're running a shop, for example, or whatever. Yeah, you're gonna do okay, but only if you have a huge following. So if you've got 200k followers, whatever, you're gonna hit 200k people with your live, and they're not all gonna show up, but you're gonna get only people that follow you on Instagram that sees your live. You can't reach out to new customers the way TikTok allows you to do, which is why TikTok shops are so effective. Because they're constantly getting foot traffic through the algorithm. Instagram doesn't do that. I'll get an interesting take on this. I think Instagram are going to change that in the future, and they're going to make an algorithm FYP designed live in the future where its functions similar to TikTok. But I think the architecture behind Instagram isn't designed that way currently, and I need to do work on that to make it happen. But I do strongly believe that Instagram will have a structure where it uses lives to reach out to new people over the course of the next sort of year or so. I think that's going to happen. It'll probably come into play. YouTube Shorts, very different. YouTube Shorts is all about retention. So YouTube Shorts, you need to make sure that you've got something that catches the user's imagination and captures their attention and keeps it there for the whole time. You want a super high, like almost 100% retention rate on a video. Someone needs to watch it all the way through in order for that video to be pushed, and the statistics that we've got for our creators are strong evidence of that. YouTube long format content, like the one I'm doing right now, and you'll probably see. I mean, my channel isn't amazing. Like, I haven't got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but I understand the statistics behind it, and I understand that it's a consistency game. I'm just here to provide value, and some people are going to watch that, some people are going to enjoy it, some people aren't. But for, like, if you're trying to sell a service, you're trying to build a service, YouTube is a different creature to the other ones. The short form content platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Shorts on YouTube specifically, they are very different. Long form content on YouTube is a different creature. It is again about retention, and it's about making sure you've got a good concept, making sure that you set the video up, it's optimized for the viewer. Like, what I do is not optimized at all, so I'm surprised if I get any views on it. But like, you need to make sure that everyone's optimized, and like, I think there's a big culture on YouTube with the Mr. Beastification, we'll call it. That beastification of your videos. You need a top end thumbnail, and you need like a hook in the first 5 seconds where it just explodes in the viewer's face to keep their attention, because that's who his audience is, and they've all got ADD. Everybody's got ADHD that sort of is younger. iPad kids, they need explosions popping off and cuts happening, and like there's 17,000 edits in the first 4 seconds of the video, because that's how you keep their attention. It depends who your audience is. Like, my audience, I'm just looking to provide information, so I don't do that. And also, it's a lot of editing effort. Mr. Beast probably got about 15 million editors on his team. Like, I'm just alone, so I'm not doing that. If that's what you want from me, put it in the comments, and I'll try and Mr. Beastify one of my videos. But it will probably take me about 6 months to build, because I don't have any idea about editing. I can barely slap a thumbnail together and get it on the video for you. So. But yeah, long form content not my specialty. I'm obviously branching into that environment now and trying to do it. But yeah, excuse me again. A cough's coming on. I'm telling you, it's gonna take me down. But I think, long time on analysis there, thinking about the analysis of the various medias. But to sort of summarise all of that, so you understand which customer you want to target, you need to understand what format of media they enjoy, what format of media they're going to ingest, and then attack that media by creating high quality content. And high quality means 2 things. So in your implementation, if you're actually going to implement something, high quality content, what does that mean? Sort of final phase of my problem solving methodology, right? High quality content means a couple of things. It means, first of all, that it retains the users, it retains their attention. You should make content so when I make content, like, I make content for the viewer. Like, I'm making it for you. I ultimately get nothing from this. Like, there's no, like, I get, other than, I'm just doing this because I'm waiting here for another 10 minutes, right? I get nothing from this. Whereas for you guys, I want you to take something away, and that ultimately is what content should be. It should be for the user. The user should benefit from the content. A lot of content creators forget that, and that's why they don't succeed. And that's one of the first pieces of advice I give any client that we take on that wants to run a social campaign or whatever. You need to create content for the end user. If the end user is satisfied by the content, then you're going to do much better. Now, with that being said, you also need to make content that's catchy, that's trending. So you need to understand the market that you're in when you're implementing this. So first of all, you design the content for the user, and then you make sure that it's on trend. So make sure you're using trending sounds. Make sure you're, using or maybe tapping into trends. I don't suggest just copying trends though. I suggest that you take trends and put your own personality into them. Because the one thing that all the research we've done in my business is telling us is that people like trends, but they love people better. They love personalities, and they take great enjoyment out of engaging with a creator that they can identify with in order to sort of form that pseudo relationship, if you will, where you've got a creator that you feel connected to because you like their character, you like what they're about. You don't know them, but you like what they're about. You're like, oh, I would support that guy, I would support her, like, because of the content that they've made. And that's the relationship you need to create between viewer and content creator if you're going to succeed. So as you're implementing your strategy for getting traffic, you need to basically make sure you create high quality content, both from a technical perspective, so using like a 4K camera, using an iPhone to shoot. Make sure you're using the back camera rather than the front camera, for example, shooting 4K. Make sure you're using a good mic. I'm trying to use a good mic for you guys because like the mic on my phone's terrible, so I bought a Rode mic for it. Like, make sure you're using good sound quality capture. Make sure that you optimize the video before you put it in. Like, make sure you run it through editing software like CapCut, etc. So there's no dead space in there. Try and get the best take possible. I don't really believe in doing perfect takes. I don't do a perfect take. I do one take here and I upload it to YouTube for you guys. I'm a one take guy. I don't believe in doing multiple takes, but like, try and get that best take if you can. Like, if you've got time and you're a full-time professional content creator, get the right take, get the best version of the take so you can get it out there, and get that get that entertainment value to the user, get that education value, whatever you're trying to provide. You're trying to entertain, you're trying to educate, you're trying to inform. Like, just get the best variant of that forward for the end user, and then roll all of it together. So you need to get traffic. That's the definition of your problem. Okay, so we're going to measure everything. We're going to measure who our customers are, where they are, so on and so forth. Okay, we've ran the analysis. This is the type of content they like to consume. Okay, so younger people, they like short form content, they like hooks, etc, etc, etc. So what we're going to do is we're going to implement a plan where we create reels, because reels are super strong. Like I said, as of now, reels are the strongest in terms of reach. Okay, so we're going to make a reels campaign. We're going to do 10 reels. We're going to release one every day. We're going to see what happens. And then the final thing to do, as always, is actually return to that measurement phase. Look at how things perform constantly. If you are in a situation where you see that you're putting out content piece after content piece, reel after reel after reel, and you're not getting any views, ask yourself why. And saying stuff like, oh, I'm shadow banned, that's not a real thing. People think it's a real thing, but it's not a real thing. Like, if you ask like Meta, IG, you ask TikTok, you ask any of the professionals, I've dealt with actual internal people to those companies. Shadow bans don't exist. It's a myth that people have created in the social media industry to basically explain away why they're doing badly. They're doing bad because their content's garbage. Like, they're doing bad because like they don't have good quality filming, they don't have good quality sound, they just put filters on everything. Like, it's just bad content. That's what they're doing, and that's why you don't get what you want, like, because you aren't providing value to the end user. You provide value to the end user, eventually your content's going to pop off. Maybe not on day one, maybe not on day 5, but over time you will eventually gain the traction that you're supposed to have if you continuously provide quality content. And that is my final remark on the matter. This is a consistency game. It is not a fast win game. You can go viral on post 1, you can go viral on post 1,000. Sometime in between then, hopefully you go viral sooner rather than later. But this is not a quick win game now. Social media is no longer oh, I'm just going to make a funny video and go viral. It's you have to consistently show up every single day if you want to win at the socials game. So, yeah. Now, Oh, 3 minutes to spare. 3 minutes before the kids come out of school. Absolutely nailed this one. So, in conclusion, then, you need to get traffic. I hope the stuff I've just spoken about gives you a good insight into how I think about getting traffic to my sites, to my customers, etc., etc. If you want to delve further into any specific aspect of what I've talked about, again, I'd love to hear it in the comments. Leave me a quick comment, shoot over to my Instagram, send me a DM if you prefer to do that, whatever. I'm more than happy to hear from people to, for them to get involved and give me questions to answer. I just make the questions up, to be honest. I make the issues up based on my own experience. But I'd love to start getting input from you guys that are watching. Giving me a sort of view to what value you want to take from what I'm doing here every day for 25 minutes. So yeah, hit that subscribe button, bang on the bell, get notifications when I post. I post every single day, and yeah, that's pretty much it from me. Have a good day.